Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the RK Football Podcast. We are back again, and it is the main three amigos. It is me, Matt, Stuart, and David. He's back this
Hello,
week after
back again.
doing his gout last week.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, Goose. That's the injury. That's the injury you laid me with. No, you couldn't pick a less embarrassing one. No,
I'm surprised.
I just had to walk it off. That's all it
I'm,
was.
I'm
Yeah.
surprised you're not using that Ted Lasso thing. You know that bit when he says, "Was it you've injured
Never
your
seen
butt?"
it.
Was
oh
a
yeah,
bit when
injured
he's
my butt.
when
Yeah.
no, it's a pelvis thing. No, there's no shame in it. You know, you injured your butt. It happens to everyone. So let's go with that one. So you injured your
Well,
butt.
yeah, exactly. And nonetheless, I managed to walk it off, and I'm back again, fit and
There we
ready
go.
to back in the starting lineup.
Amazing medical team. Got you fit and ready for this week.
Yeah,
Oh,
absolutely.
well
Yeah. So
done.
props to them. Props to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Well, what better place to start then? I think than the Liverpool Man City game yesterday. No word of a lie. I didn't actually watch the game, but I certainly did watch the highlights. I watched everything I possibly could have about the game
hmm
when I had the chance, and I wrote down the score thinking it was Liverpool losing lost 3-1.
Hmm.
And then I watched the game and realised no, it ended 2-1 because of one of the most ridiculous moments I think I've seen in Premier League history.
It's
Yeah.
What are your
like,
thoughts?
I mean, obviously, either way it would have sucked. Either way, it's bad for Liverpool, obviously. But if you look at it from either we got sent off, lost arguably our best player for 3 games. Well, not arguably, it is our best player for 3 games. But then obviously, if they gave the goal, it would have been 3-1. But it's it's bad when even the man I think I saw Haaland, or I think also I saw like Guardiola come out saying, just give us the goal. Like everyone's like kind of happy, like their play doesn't get sent off for missed football. We get the goal anyway. So like it's not work for everyone, but it feels like when you see it, it's like yes, technically he's the last man, but when you think about it, it's not like he was like shinned him or like, took him out. It's like you're just holding his shirt a little bit. So and the goal went in, so just give the goal. I know it's
Mm.
the rules, but
Yeah,
now
but the only trouble is, and I know what you mean, Stu, and I've seen a lot of people say, just give the goal. I know it's the rules, but give the goal. But I think, and I know a lot of people have their gripes with VAR. I mean, I'm not really one of those. I do think by and large VAR is for the good rather than for the bad, or for the worse, for the sport, and it will be in the long run, with a lot of things still to be ironed out. But I still think that if VAR is going to be here long term, there has to be consistency. So we cannot start going, well, just give the goal for this, just as a once off. But then down the line, there'll be other instances whereby you think, well, if you've given that as a kind of, well, just let him off on that one, then it's going to create a huge sort of like inconsistency with decisions. I think VAR, one of the most important things with VAR is that it has to remain consistent, whether or not it gets things dramatically wrong from time to time, which it has done.
there was
I
a,
still
there,
think it needs to maintain as much consistency as possible. So I think it was
was
right that they chalked it off, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it from my perspective, obviously, I would like to not have sort of like not like 3 games in
Well, there
increasing
is
time,
that, yeah. But in
but
terms of the
like
scoreline, 2-1, 3-1, you lost either
yeah, I
way,
mean,
kind of thing. So then
yeah,
maybe if it turned into a draw, and if Liverpool were more in the title race, it might have had more of a consequence, obviously. But
yeah, but I mean, it's
um,
sort of, as you said, it's more for like it just made it look a victory for them, look a bit more sweeter than it was. But
yeah, yeah,
Mm. I I actually think I've had so many different opinions on it. I'm not gonna lie. I've spoken to friends and they got their opinions on it. Some of them are like, oh no, the goal should have been given. The red card should never been handed out. Then I've heard the
red
argument
card was
that you
harsh.
make, David, about the referee and consistency, and I do actually agree with that. And I did agree with you until 10 minutes before I came on tonight. So I had to think about it. The goal goes in. So
Mm,
the fouls are obviously happening on the way up. The
yeah,
referee is playing on because there potentially still could be a goal. The ball ends up going in the back of the net.
hmm
So then he's then given. So in my opinion, then it's like, well, then your advantage has worked because their Man City have still scored anyway.
yeah, but
You've then
mm,
looked at VAR, um, then disallowed the goal because of Haaland's
mm,
challenge on Szoboszlai, but then you've pulled it back up even further from that to then foul to then red card Szoboszlai for the foul he made on Haaland.
but
yeah.
Isn't he not contradicting himself
And
by
also, no,
doing what he's doing on the football pitch by doing
It's
this?
a thin call. I'll give it that. I'll give you that. It's
also,
a very thin kind of.
and now when I think about it, I've just had a thought now, like they normally send him off because he's the last man to stop a goal scoring
Yeah.
opportunity.
Exactly.
Now when I think about
exactly
it,
this.
now when I think about it, it's like, well, goal scoring opportunity means you score, and they scored. So why don't they just like? I think now when I think about it, like I thought about it, and I was like, yeah, that makes it'd be different if it's like he took him out. And like and then all of a sudden it went wide, or obviously as you know, like and stopped or the goalkeeper saved it or something like that. But yeah, it went in. So technically, when you look at it like that, it's like normally when they always say red cards are the last man. We've seen a couple of them, I think, last year and this year with the, was it some like red cards have been the last man when nobody can catch up. But yeah, I mean, now you think about it, they always say, well, we're stopping a goal scoring opportunity. Well, we went in. So now when you think about it, that's even more.
It's very.
Maybe you've changed my mind as well.
Well, this is it. This is
but
it.
yeah,
like,
when VAR gets
I was,
nitpicky like that, yeah, I don't know.
It is. I was totally in your court, David. I was totally in your court because I thought, yeah, well, at the end of the day, we can't have it like it's never going to be perfect VAR, but we just want consistency, and they were being consistent, but at the wrong moment there.
Yeah,
For me,
yeah, I agree
that
with that.
should have been a moment where it's like
bit slop. Yeah,
yeah. If the ball doesn't go in, then 100% it should be a red.
But it went in.
That's fair enough. That's fair enough.
But yeah, that was my view on it in the end. And obviously, let us know what you guys think, because obviously that's very, very controversial. And for me, it makes me have more concerns about VAR going forward than it does not have concerns with when they use it like that.
And also they're adding more to it as well, because there's talk of trying to use stuff for like was it finding out if corners and stuff like that. Because obviously some controversy on that. I think the problem with it is just, as I said, I agree with David. It does more good than harm. But
for the most part,
but then the problem is the problem is you use it on things that are very objective.
Yeah.
When it was supposed to be brought in, I was shooting clear cut stuff, like example, like I don't know, like an offside, maybe. Offsides I can kind of get, sort of, but depending on how many angles I see of it, it looks onside. But then apparently someone's elbow's just getting him on. It's a bit too, scientific for my liking.
Was it semi-automated? Is that what they call it?
Yeah. That's what they're trying to. That's what they want to bring in. And I think they're going to bring it in for the World Cup as well in the summer.
I mean, have you heard what Wenger's plan is? I think it's what Wenger plan is or something. Apparently it's like well, apparently he's trying to bring in something to do with I'm 100%. Some dude's like, if it's blatantly obvious that it's blatantly obvious he's offside, like even if it's like a little bit off, I think, but like if it's like a full body or something like that. But basically, it's like it's an idea of like, well, the offside ball just needs to be if the old eye test. If you look at it and go, yeah, that looks offside. Because how many goals are being chalked off because of literally a millimeter, or like literally because of like.
Yeah, I've heard the argument before whereby like a time limit, if they can, and we've seen offside decisions take more than 2 or 3 or 4 minutes. I think if they can't decide within a minute, I think that it should be on the benefit of the defender, to be honest.
Yeah. Or stick with or if they sit there and look at it going, okay, like the referee, like for example, if the referee allowed it to go on and let it go, and then the VAR go, okay, we'll just have a look at this, and then like you said, like a couple of seconds, like a minute. They haven't decided. Just refer back to the ref decision.
Back to the linesman's decision. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, unless it's like an egregious, like 3
because then it also gives refs a bit more. Because obviously, I do feel like the VAR is they've kind of relying it a bit too much in the sense of sometimes they're not scared of making a decision, but kind of like. Not making like a tough call,
Yeah,
the safety net is now there for him, sort of thing. Yeah, I get you. What you mean. Yeah,
But yeah, I don't know. I think again, the funny thing is, I sit there and say get rid of it, but like I think there was I think I was watching.
It will never go now, unfortunately. It will never go. It's now it's here to stay.
I think and I think that the pity is that it can sometimes be the one major talking point from a game, particularly with the game yesterday, which was such a brilliant game, particularly in that second half. I know you'll have a few things to say, but the thing is, we all walk away particularly because the VAR decision was at the very end of the game. That kind of becomes the major talking point almost. It kind of takes away from what happened in that second half a little bit. So that's one thing that kind of can. Get on my nerves sometimes with VAR.
But then you can sit there and say that's a choice of the pundits and all that to choose to do that, because obviously, yes, it's a
But
decision.
they're
where
always
they make
gonna,
so-
don't they? Always are
Yeah,
gonna do that, aren't
it's.
they? You know.
Oh, to be fair, this is one of the reasons why I think this season, anyway, I've kind of avoided any punditry, like when it comes to Sky Sports at least.
Yeah, I
Um,
avoid it as well. It's
because
just
it's just like I think some of the arguments that are coming out is like, yeah, but I mean, it's bad when the managers mention it. You've won, but you've like when City's coming out saying
Yeah.
they've won the game. If they lost the game, well, that cost them something. I
yeah,
get it,
yeah.
but it's like they
then-
didn't have to say anything, and they still mentioned it. So
Yeah,
usually a sign that
Yeah.
maybe they got it wrong.
Yeah. I think though, like David said, it clouded a brilliant game of football. I mean, Szoboszlai's free kick was nothing short of breathtaking. That
My
was,
God.
yeah, it was,
I was-
reminded me of Ronaldo against Portsmouth all those years ago.
Yeah,
yes.
like
The way
40
it
yards
curled as
out or
well.
something.
The way,
Like,
the way it
yeah.
looks like
Yeah.
it was going one way and it just curled.
Slightly
Yeah.
outside of his foot, kind of thing. Like you don't really
Yeah,
see
it's
many
so-
free kicks like that
I was-
anymore. Like he just
I was-
belts it with his laces.
I was feeling
like,
so
it's
good at that
cool.
point. I was so good at that point because it was like I was sitting there going like, okay, we're getting back into it. First half we're a bit. City were the
Ropey.
better. Yeah, City were the better side. But then it's just like when he got that goal, I was like, please, just a now 1-0 win. I need this right now. And then Liverpool do what Liverpool do a lot this season is the last probably 10 minutes we seem to just switch off or just energies levels go, and City go back into it. And yeah, it's
Well,
just one
not
of those
only
things.
did they come back into it, they done it in style, didn't they? That
Yeah.
was the attitude of champions. Is how they won that game all of a sudden. That's what it came across as.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at it from a grander scheme of things, it's probably the best result for the league because obviously now we have a title race properly.
Yeah.
Because obviously, if it was 9 points, you would say that it's all on Arsenal to win it. But now it's 6, and I think I don't know when they playing. Curiously, like because obviously that big game's gonna be huge when they play.
I don't know when they're actually playing. If one of
I can have a
one of you
quick look
but
here.
I know
Yeah,
that
'cause-
Man City play first this week. So they'll go within 3 points if they win, and then Arsenal play on the Thursday against Brentford.
away.
So
as
I
well.
know that they're playing Fulham. I know that Man City are playing
Yeah,
Fulham this week. That's
Fulham,
it. Yeah. But I think that for me the title race is done. Like it was done. It was done. Not. I think it was the last time Man City dropped points, which I think was last weekend. For me, the title race was done at that point because they are dropping points too often.
Yeah.
I'm not just saying it because I have said Arsenal to win the league. I'm saying it because there's nothing about this Man City side for me. There's not enough evidence that goes this is going to go right down to the wire because Arsenal side keep picking up a point or a win. They're not losing that often.
I get that.
Yeah, they're maintaining their momentum as opposed to
Yeah,
City, who are like they just can't defend anymore. Haaland's bang out of form at the moment as well, even though he played well yesterday.
I mean, apparently he was a star guy. Apparently, like if you go on foot mod, that's really annoying. Like he was a higher stats. Like, did you watch the game? He was better. Like in that second half, you could sit there and say Van Dijk in the second half was like had him in his pocket. It's like he stopped him at one point. Obviously, near the end, it's like, but seriously, like I love that one. It's just like, yeah, he gets, was it a penalty in there, and everyone's like, his stats go up. But yeah, we halted him mostly at bay for most of that match, to be honest.
But I think there was one thing I did hear about the game, and I did agree with this. And Stu's not going to like this, but I couldn't agree more. I think this season has shown Salah, Van Dijk, and Alisson are coming towards the end of their time at Liverpool.
I don't think that's a particularly controversial thing to say.
Because Alisson, that foul he commits on
what was he thinking?
Nowhere.
What was he thinking?
Nowhere.
He does have that in him now. He does have that in him sometimes.
It's clumsy. It's
bizarre
so
decision.
clumsy.
I mean, I don't think it's really. It's not really a controversial decision because obviously it's been. It said this season with Mo Salah.
They're all in their 30s, and
I mean, obviously, was it? I mean,
but a goalkeeper, do you expect him to?
But then again, I don't want.
Sometimes.
But then again, I don't want to judge him too much for just that one bad because obviously most of the season he's been pretty still on point. I think.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously,
one of their better players.
Yeah, I mean, I think you could have an argument for Van Dijk because obviously we discussed it on previous podcast about that performance against Burnley. He looked all over the place, and obviously, I think it's just he doesn't. Again, it's a situation. He's probably played every minute this season, because obviously we have no defensive backup. That Stu Bathurst why we didn't go for anyone, but and
I think that they won't sell him. They won't sell any of them this summer. I think that what you'll find is a defender will be bought in. A goalkeeper will be bought in, and a new attacker will be brought in the hope that they then provide that net of right. One of you can now move on.
Well, we needed that.
That's
We
what I
need that.
think is going to
I
happen.
mean,
Yeah.
it's like
Gahey was supposed to be that for Van Dijk, really.
Yeah,
You know,
but they didn't.
Yeah,
Obviously, I think if he came in January, then Van Dijk may have been sold in the summer.
Possibly.
Possibly. I mean, but obviously, it doesn't help that the guy at the bit we're talking big about that guy we got from Rennes last week, and then all of a sudden he's got like a proper bad injury that could be. It's just like if that's not a Liverpool thing.
Brilliant. Bad to worse. Love it. Love it.
I think defensively, like the funny thing about this team is like it's not unfixable in the summer. I think it's one of these things. It looks quite rubbish. Like it looks like it's not consistent now. But like it's not like one or two couple of tweaks and it'll be back to what it was. Not like it's completely down the rails. Because obviously you've seen it a couple of times this season.
Would you touch the midfield? McAllister, Szoboszlai, Gravenberch.
What do you mean sell? Do you mean?
No. Would you touch it? Like, would you make a big signing for the midfield? That's what I'm talking about. Like, so you make a big signing for the team.
I think that defensive midfield with was it Gravenberch like.
Wirtz. Why did I say Szoboszlai? Wirtz.
Yeah, I mean, I think for the midfield, I think we need I would like to get someone in because obviously Gravenberch has like been amazing for us, but again, the way he plays, he can be, kind of was it suffocated in that midfield if it's the right system. So I think obviously the talks are Adam Wardson, like just completely the Palace raid of taking out the only one player they've got left. But I would get him in because obviously I think his kind of style would probably suit. Slightly, obviously, if Stu there by that point, is style but again, it's what we need is probably the wing positions and definitely pretty much our entire defence.
Yeah, but I mean, I think Liverpool are in there with a huge task now. I believe the gap is 5 points for Manchester United. Obviously, those three teams, Chelsea, Man United, and Liverpool. I mean, can you make an argument for? Let me just double check the table before I make a mistake in my readings here.
No, you're quite right.
Can you make
Liverpool.
a mistake for if you're saying Liverpool are in the race, are we saying Brentford are in it? Are we saying Everton are in it? Or do you think Brentford are the only one outside?
I think Brentford are the only one that's showing signs of consistency enough to be up there, yeah? Because obviously Everton, they got a win the weekend, but we've seen they've been a bit ropey the last couple of games, last couple of weeks. So yeah, I would say Brentford, but again, it's I think it's more. We should secure. I know this is how bad it's become. Top 6, but like I don't know. I mean, I think it's still a long way. I mean, obviously, our next 3 games are pretty tough ones, but both away at Sunderland and Nottingham Forest. And then we've got West Ham at home. A resurgent West Ham, I should point out. And obviously, and you see what the fixtures that obviously Man United and Chelsea have got next. You're thinking they should pick up them points. So. There might be a chance they might get that lead might extend.
Yeah, you know it. But like we'll finish on one word with Liverpool, Man City. Is the title race over?
No.
So I just wanted to say, 18th of April is when Arsenal meet Man City. So you would, if you were to say on current form, I know obviously City won yesterday. They're unbeaten in 3 games. They won 2 of the last 3. So they're kind of thereabouts. But you'd have to say the 18th of April, which is quite a while away. I think, particularly if Arsenal maintain their current form, I find it difficult to believe that City will still be within touching distance of Arsenal by that time. I mean, again, I know I'm like you, Matt. I've pegged Arsenal to win it, so I would like them not to do it. But on the other hand, I do want an exciting title race as well. So I think it would be great to see. And 18th of April is towards the end of the season. There won't be too many games left, so that could well be the title decider. And also, it'll end in a 0-0 draw, obviously. But I mean,
or just a crazy or an Arsenal win with a
5-3 or something. Yeah. But I don't think it's
over
though. Don't think it's over.
No, it's definitely not over. I mean, obviously, when you can't, how can you sit there and say, I know it's like, whatever you think of the fixtures, but like 6 points behind and you're saying it's over. It's like, it's not. If it was 9, yes. If we won, then then like, you can kind of see that, it would be. I mean, everyone was talking about it last season when we were 9, like I think in was it November, and everyone was like, oh, it's over. And I was like, it's not over. Like this idea that it is.
Yeah, you were stubborn about that.
But to be fair to City, that obviously they did give them credit for obviously coming back to beat us. Like they did resilience. That's not a City side that normally. Yeah. But and also was it their defender with Diaz? I think Ruben was it? There was a defender that was out. Like if they've
Yeah,
got a
they've
partnership
yeah.
with him and Gahey, it was again quite good yesterday as well.
Yeah.
It's like if they could do a partnership, maybe they can have that solid defense they haven't had for a long time. So maybe,
Yeah.
and City have an, I know even when they were in the bad times, we all forget like even last season when they were terrible, they went for a pretty nice one near the end.
That's
So
right.
they have
Yeah.
that ability. So until it's literally like 9 or 10 points, then I'll be like, it's over. But with 6, with the City side,
Yeah.
I'm still think there's still a title race there. But I mean,
Yeah.
but so it's still Arsenal's to lose, I would say. But don't rule out
Um,
City. That's what I'm saying.
What about with obviously Arsenal? They managed to get the victory over Sunderland. I would say quite a good performance by Sunderland, and it's very fair to say about a Sunderland side who just lost 3-0 against Arsenal, but they were very resilient. They made themselves hard to beat in that game, and it only took a bit of class from their midfield to break it down in the end. And I mean, 2 goals from Gyökeres. That's now 8 goal contributions in his last 8 games.
Really
It's
good. Yeah.
He's now starting to really find that form, and he's the top goal scorer in the Premier League in 2026
Brilliant.
as
Yeah.
well.
I mean,
That's very
I'm
good.
happy for him because I don't think there was really, and I know I was kind of down on Gyökeres sort of, or maybe late last year when he wasn't really performing. I think he'd only about 4 goals or thereabouts by Christmas. And the questions were starting to crop up, but he was never going to finish this season without. He was always going to
Yeah.
find form at some stage. He was never going to have a shocker. We can argue about what a shocker might have been for his first season, but I am happy for him, and he is starting to pick up form now. And I think at the right time, because there was a point there a couple of weeks ago where the gap was about 3 or 4 points, and things were starting to get a little bit nervy for Arsenal. But their players are starting to step up now, and
also
Gyökeres particularly.
the goals are drying up as well at that point.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
did he start that game or did he come on?
I think he started,
Gyökeres was
didn't
a
he?
substitute.
Oh, was he? Oh, I thought he started.
That's what I
It
think.
was a
Because
substitute. I
obviously
thought he
Carl
started the
Havertz
game,
is
but he
back,
hadn't.
right?
No. Yes,
I don't know.
he is back.
I'm just thinking maybe the reason is because basically realizing what obviously you don't for that kind of money think he's an impact, but like utilizing with more of when things aren't going away, go a bit like play to his style more maybe.
I think another thing as well is that now Kai Havertz is back, the competition really is there for Gyökeres' place.
Absolutely.
So it's like there's no guarantee I'm starting games. I need to be getting the goals in now, and now he's starting to do it.
I think
would have.
Like it's a bit like Ollie Watkins when he's at Aston Villa. When Duran was there, he was unstoppable. Ollie Watkins as well. But then the moment the competition's not there, he's dropped off. Like so, yeah. I think that every striker needs that competition, especially.
Absolutely.
So yeah, he's I think he's on 8 goals in the Premier League. Is he going to make do you reckon he eclipses 15, or do you reckon he'll be like between 10 and 15 he'll finish on?
How many is he off Haaland? How many is he off Haaland?
Oh, it must be
Oh, he's
Haaland
off 12
surely
off Haaland. No, 13 off Haaland.
Okay.
I don't see that. I think he can get to 15, which I think would be an incredibly successful season for him.
I really want my prediction to work. But our prediction of been top scorer, like all of a sudden we write him off.
That's what I had him as top scorer, but I mean I don't think it's going to happen. But
I had Haaland. I think I went for Haaland. I'm sure I did. So yeah, but obviously TK could prove us all wrong.
Oh my god, yeah.
You say that, but there's a good chance he might.
Yeah,
obviously he's on form, but yeah. But
well, I mean, actually, another one that could prove us wrong is was it Igor Thiago? He did score in his last 4 games, and now he's on 17 for the season. He's only 4 behind him.
He must be. I don't know who would be ahead of him in the pecking order for Brazilian strikers, but surely he's got to be a starter at the World Cup. I don't know who might be ahead of him.
Yeah, but
there's no chance.
You say that, but for Brazil, he's actually. I mean, I haven't watched it recently, but at Brazil, he's usually
on current form.
João Pedro.
João Pedro. I thought he was Spanish. Yeah.
Yeah,
but yeah, he's having
a great
agree.
Season. I think that Igor Thiago is brilliant, but I just get this feeling with Igor Thiago that in years' time, someone's going to go on like pointless, and it'll be like, who's won the Premier League Golden Boot, and he'd be like one of the pointless answers. Because
and it'll just be one season, like it'll be one
yeah.
What's he on now? As what's the order now for the Golden Boot? Where are we? What's like the top 3?
I know he's second.
Haaland, him. And who's third?
Oh God, how do I find this
Semedo,
out?
maybe.
Go on, someone help me out. Lads, come on, help me out.
Was it foot mod? Very, very useful.
Ah, here you go. So you've got
okay.
Haaland on step 21, Igor Thiago 17, Semenyo 12, and Hugo Ekitike 10, along with Dominic Calvert-Lewin on 10 as well.
Hey, he's not having a bad season either.
He's not, is he? He's 18 appearances, 10 goals. What a return. I think that's brilliant. I really do.
That's really good.
No,
I mean,
but
no one. The idea that Ekitike's on number 10 for a Liverpool side, like, I just saw that. It's like, I'm like, maybe he can nick that second. Maybe, go up. It's possible.
Yeah. No, I think it's going to be between Igor Thiago and Haaland. I think, like, with that. If Gyökeres gets up there, I'll be very shocked now.
Yeah, I'd be so happy if Arsenal win the league and he's top scorer, because that would just be 2-1 for me prediction wise. I would love that. But
he's only got he's on 15th, isn't he? In this thing I'm looking at, he's 15th, so like way down.
He must be he's probably tied with like 7 different players.
Enzo Fernandez for Chelsea's got more. He's got the same. He's up above him.
He's got the same amount as Danny Welbeck.
Hey, Welbs,
I gotta be honest.
Kyle's favourite striker.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think Kyle's picked to get in the England squad as well. Actually, yeah.
I think that pick is it's not gonna be like the fine wine of age type pidding that we thought it was at the time, because at the moment the goals are dried up big time.
Struggling now, yeah.
Well, anyway. I mean, who knows? We'll see. I think for Arsenal, it's obviously a big week. They've got Brentford away, which is a very tricky game. But we'll see what happens there. I think the more exciting bit at the moment. Well, I mean, is it me or is this season really exciting? You really see how far it goes on for, because the Champions League race is hotting up, and so's the race for relegation.
We actually have a relegation dogfight for the first time in 2 years.
I mean,
finally,
Chelsea. I think the Chelsea result was brilliant for us. Like, obviously we come away with a 3-1 victory. Cole Palmer, like I said, I don't think he's good enough to get in the World Cup squad. Then he comes back at me with a hat trick. How dare he? He's supposed to support my argument.
Made you look a right mug.
I mean, to be fair to Wolves, though, like they kind of them two penalties they give were like gifts, right? Yeah. Because obviously one was like I mean, you got to take what you take. But I'm just saying, like, they were not. It's not like it was. It's great to see him back on the score sheet, because obviously if we get the best out of Cole Palmer, that's always good for England, because obviously he's it's always going to get him back to form. But it's just nice to see him back on the score sheet, even if I kind of would have been all but miracle that somehow Wolves would have done the shocker or shockers, but that's not this season, and that's not any season at the moment. So. But yeah, I mean, I like Cole Palmer, to be fair, and I'm kind of glad that he's kind of, hopefully he can keep it going and injury free.
Absolutely.
It's a very this is going to sound really weird to say, but it was a bit of a boring hat trick, because it's 2 penalties and an open play goal. Like, but you take it.
Oh, you 100% take it. But just to say.
Forward.
Yeah, just say about Cole Palmer, though. I think even if he finishes the season strong, because if I'm not mistaken, the last tournament he did have a really, really strong season, but he was still a substitute for Gareth Southgate. I don't think he actually was able to.
Against Spain.
He wasn't able to get. Yeah, I think that was his only appearance as well, wasn't it? If I'm not mistaken.
No, I mean he came up in the semi-final, because obviously he set up the goal for
right. I don't think. I don't think he ever started. I don't think he ever got into. He never started a match for England though, and he had a really strong season. I think even if he's that midfield for England is so strong, and the forward line as well, obviously. I think even if he has a strong season, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but so would the argument be not if he starts more, would you take him?
Oh, he definitely goes. I think he definitely goes. But I think he'd struggle to get into the starting 11.
Yeah, this Palmer plays. The Palmer that's been playing for some of the rest of the season, I would say no.
Yeah, but
this
that actually might be the beginning of.
There's tough competition for that. Was it? He's playing was it attacking midfield bit when he like that bit there. Like, there's a lot of big competition for places. Obviously, you've got.
I think the one immovable one is Jude Bellingham. I think he always starts. I think even if Jude Bellingham has not a great season for Real Madrid this season, I don't think he is. I don't know what his goal tally is so far. I think even if he has it, I think he still is like an automatic starter almost, just for his pure quality.
To be fair though, I mean, maybe obviously don't say anything, but rumors I've been hearing is like there is a bit of stuff going on. Like, for us it might be an automatic, but Thomas Tuchel, it seems like the kind of manager that if he's got a shock in there somewhere with that selection. Like when you go,
he does. I agree. That's true.
I think there's 3 automatic starters, and Bellingham's not one of them.
It's Kane, Pickford,
Okay.
Rice.
and Rice. Yeah,
Oh, Gahey's not a bad shout. Gahey could probably
I mean,
be.
I think
again,
Gay.
he's
Oh yeah,
yeah,
Maguire.
yeah, yeah.
Again, he's our best,
Maguire,
best
yeah,
defender
he
we've got in the
could
country.
actually. He
Yeah,
could.
Maguire.
No,
Gay. I think is going to be the
no.
start.
Yeah.
It's going to be the centre back.
I'm just saying it now, like no, just.
But
I mean, but yeah,
go on.
but
You
no, it's
don't
like
think
no, it's like,
Maguire?
no. And I
Time to
give him
move on,
credit
is
for
it, Stu?
no, that's not. I mean, I'm not denying for England he's been a great service for us because obviously, his best performances has been for England. But again, I just think there's a lot more options when it comes to defensive bit than
Yeah.
I don't.
Do you want
think
a little
if it
side
was-
bet, Stu? Do you want to do a side bet? Who starts? I think is it Croatia England's first match? Who starts centre back for England?
Oh, is that going to be like? Is that like a thing? Like we're going to sit there and say like before we're going to put a little thing like what's the starting 11, and we're going to
Not even start 11. Let's do one you and I, whether or not Maguire gets into the first team. I'd be happy to.
Who gets into the
Yeah.
and just to point out the final 23, none of this like provisional 26 stuff, like proper.
No, I'm talking about the
Yeah.
starting 11
Oh.
against Croatia in the group stage,
Your,
the
so
very
your
first game.
argument, Stu, is that he doesn't even get on the plane.
Oh, he gets on the plane.
Oh, no,
Stu, he gets on the
I don't know.
plane.
I don't know. I think this is. I think there's
Stand by. Go on.
more
Who gets ahead
defensive
of him?
options. I mean, obviously not off the top of my head I can think of it, but like I just from my gut instinct would be I just don't. And also when you think about it, from Thomas Tuchel, has he been in a squad since he's been in charge?
No,
Yes,
but
but then you
sorry.
think Ruben Amorim was manager when before.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, again, this would all
And he was
change.
injured.
I mean, this all opinion would change probably next month when they've got them friendlies, right? When it's like, and all of a sudden I'm like, I won't start, and then he's like, he's
Yeah,
back and he's
exactly, yeah.
playing, and I'm like, oh, there goes my. What do I know apparently? but just from what I know about Thomas Tuchel and the way he does, I think he's what we've seen in the last couple of qualifiers and kind of when he's got what we've seen in some of the squads, I think's round about what we're gonna get. So I think because obviously he's kind of very sure what he wants. So like I don't think he wants to at the bottom. So again, it might not be as controversial, but I don't know. I just think he wouldn't pick him. But again, if he's in it, I'm not gonna really get too annoyed about it because
It's an
obviously
interesting take. Interesting.
Well,
yeah.
we'll find out in when's the pick? When's the
March. I think
Yeah,
it's
we'll
March.
Yeah.
we'll find. He'll probably get no my like this time in my life. I'll be sitting there saying he shouldn't get in the squad, and then all of a sudden he's like, Thomas Tuchel's like, oh, you don't? Okay, well,
Yeah.
he's in the squad now for England.
Yeah. No, but there was one player I did want to bring up from the Chelsea game who I think is come on a real rich vein of form for Chelsea. He didn't score on the weekend, but it's João Pedro.
Yeah,
I think he's been fantastic for Chelsea. And I was thinking, how is it that Liam Brosnan is getting the best out of this guy so well all the time? So I had to look back. I didn't realise he played for it in Watford. They both were
Did he
together at
actually?
Watford. Yeah, they're both together at Watford. So
He knows it.
apparently
Oh,
João Pedro
okay,
at
that's
Watford.
that's how João Pedro ended up going from Watford to Brighton. And I was
Oh,
like,
right.
so he obviously has that little bit of a connection there. So I was like, fair enough.
had
then,
no
like,
idea. That was-
explains
yeah,
a little
yeah.
bit what that does.
I mean, to be fair, like we're seniors, like his style of play. I don't obviously we're still like kind of thinking, but maybe it's got a bit more freedom, maybe than
Yeah, he definitely seems to, because there was this obsession with Enzo Maresca that he wanted to play João Pedro just behind the striker, which is all good and everything, but the quality he was producing, for me, he had to be the man at the front, and now Rosner is doing that. He's getting the best out of him. So like that was my argument all along. So just saying, I'm here in case Rosner.
I mean,
does step down.
all I can say is I've made the bold. I made the bold decision to put him back in my fantasy team because obviously Thiago's gone against Arsenal. Says what's a better chance when he obviously Chelsea got Leeds? You know, who would you choose? So
I've made some bold shouts these last couple of weeks, and they paid off so far.
I made the boldest of shouts by electing not to do my team for the last month because I keep either forgetting or not being arsed. Although once or twice, a broken clock is right twice a day and all that. I mean, like I have left once or twice. I've actually accumulated quite a number of points just by leaving my team be and just.
I mean, because when you look at your team, it's like you're looking all like most people are using those players anyway. So it's not like it's a. I mean, to be fair, I've done crazy stuff. I saw Saka's, I think's out for a little while, right?
Yeah.
So I've swapped him for the informed West Ham winger Summerfield because he scored like in the last couple of games.
Summerfield, yeah, he scored again on the weekend, didn't he?
Yeah,
weekend,
I
on the
mean,
weekend. So yeah, good shout.
I mean,
Good
I have
shout.
to admit, some of the both of West Ham's goals are pretty damn special, like really good. I mean, especially that first one, that Fernandes you talked about last week, like like he's
Fernandez,
been
yeah, Mateus
he's
Fernandez,
been
very good.
absolutely transformative for them, right?
Mm.
Electric. He's been very good for him. I think that result at so my friend, a West Ham fan, he was like, Nottingham Forest and Leeds have to draw. They have to draw on the weekend. Like a
Mm.
win for either of them is unacceptable because it means that one of them gets away. But after the Leeds performance, and they absolutely annihilated Nottingham Forest in that game, I did actually think, do you know what? I do get what he was saying, but Nottingham Forest looks so vulnerable that they look like that if West Ham did win, which they did, that
Mm.
they suddenly sucked right into it, and that's what's happened. Like they've been punished, and it's going to be.
Yeah.
I mean, there were
I
7 points at one point. Like
I
that
mean,
shows
oh,
Yeah,
the result.
there's still
David
three
might be
points
right.
behind. There's still 3 points behind West Ham. I know they're in a good. I think it's 3 wins and 4 now, isn't it? But
Yeah,
and I know there's still it's a bit. I think it's 13 games to go. I think it is 13 or 14 games to go. Um, Nottingham Forest still have a win in them. I think they still have quality enough to kind of to stay up. It could almost be a case of too little, too late for West Ham. Again, I know they're doing great right now. Again, 3 wins and 4, but they're still 3 points adrift in the relegation zone. That shows how bad they were up until this point, or up until about a month ago. Um,
yeah.
but I mean, you never know. It could be. Who's West
I mean,
Ham's next game against?
So
I
West
mean,
Ham are playing Manchester United at the London
Oh, that's
Stadium.
right. Yeah, yes,
Yeah,
tomorrow night. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
and Nottingham Forest
pubs.
are playing Wolves at the City Ground. So I mean,
that's not
it's
fair.
one.
That's not fair.
It's
That
going to
should
be
be allowed.
if West Ham can get anything from their game, that's a
No
result.
chance. It's gonna be 5 in a
Like,
row.
oh, here we go. Oh, when the guy gets his head shaved and
I
everything.
can't. I don't care about him. Can we not talk
I know
about
you
him,
don't.
please? Honestly, can we please not talk about him? I
I mean,
cannot
also,
stand.
why would anyone do that? Like, that's the most. I
I
mean, I know
know,
football do
it
crazy
was
things, but like,
so
calm down.
bad.
Honestly,
Anyway,
and
but
another.
yeah.
It happened again against the after the win against Tottenham. A reporter put a mic in Fernandez's face and said, "What do you think about this fella?" He was like, "Don't
Yeah,
care."
like, I'll be honest,
It's
who
just
do you
like,
think he
who
is
cares
honestly.
what the
to-
players think? The players don't
It's like-
care. Like,
I mean,
Honest
they're
to
just
God.
happy that at the moment, Man United probably happy that they're playing well, they're playing good football, they're winning games. Like, why would they not be
Look at
happy about
that!
it?
Look at that! The two teams to sack their managers a month ago, and they're the two informed teams in the league. 4 wins on the bounce,
but-
United and Chelsea.
All I'm sitting there
it's all
saying is
roses.
come back to me next season, this time next season, then we can have a discussion, because your
No,
new
but
manager bounces. It's fine.
Yeah, but
It's
we're
fine.
here now, and Liverpool are terrible,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I'm loving it.
yeah.
It's brilliant.
Yeah,
I want-
just
Uh,
absorb it.
Terrible.
Absorb it.
Yeah. Loving
Sometimes
it.
you just have to appreciate greatness.
Yeah,
Right,
just to
okay.
speak about United very, very briefly. In 4 wins and a bounce. I mean, that was actually a fairly routine win against Spurs. I mean, we all know how bad Spurs are doing this season. It's great.
Romero, Romero.
Yeah, no, I know.
He's still their captain. Is that like the second sending off?
I can't see any. Who else would be captain on that side? To be honest, I mean, I can't think of it.
Anyone. Van de Ven, like you've
well,
got
look,
all these
everyone
other
makes bad-
players. Come on, anyone. But yeah, like
Everyone
you were
makes
saying
mistakes.
about,
I don't think as a Spurs fan
Man-
I'd be too
But
upset
Man
with it, to be honest.
United,
But
I mean, Wemo, like
having a
this
great
guy,
season.
This
Yeah,
guy,
he's having a great
he
season.
looks really good.
Isn't he
Like,
funny?
I
He
think
doesn't even look like a footballer, but he's just magnificent. He's brilliant. No, I love him. But
I take an
yeah.
inspiration from him.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
But I think
But yeah,
one
no,
thing you have to
great
point
win.
out with Manchester United is that, I mean, I know it's only 4 games, so it's like, all right, Matt.
It's a lot for United. It's a lot for United,
This
honestly.
is it,
Like
like,
4
in,
wins
in
in a row,
recent
yeah, it's
years,
been a
4 on the
They are
bounce is
leading the
the last time we
charge
did
for
that.
that 4th place. They're leading
Say
the
again,
charge
sorry?
for 4th place. They're leading the
Oh,
charge
absolutely,
for 4th place.
absolutely. I
So,
mean, in
there's
fourth
no
right now.
argument there,
I think we're. What was it that we've got? What was it? We've got you in a couple of weeks, haven't we? For Man United.
Yeah, no, so well, our first no, so we've got West Ham, I think Everton, and then Palace, and then Newcastle. Are our next 4 games, and maybe
That's a
Liverpool's
good.
after
I
that.
got
I
to be
don't
honest.
know.
When it comes
It's a
to
nice
form,
run. That it's
yeah.
a nice run. Newcastle could be tricky, but our next 3 games look fairly. I mean, touch wood. Don't
Out of
jinx
the 3,
anything,
I
but-
think I've got the fixtures. I think out of the 3, probably would say you've got probably more comfortable, because obviously I think even when Chelsea's next 3, they've got an Arsenal. I think in there, haven't you?
Yeah.
We looked
I
unstoppable
mean, like
against
Everton are
Arsenal.
quite good, so I mean, you never
Yeah,
know.
I mean,
There
it's
could be a
just, and
slip up
obviously
there.
we've got to go to, was it Sunderland that's got one of the best home, was it home records in the
Yeah,
league,
yeah,
and Nottingham
unbeaten still.
Forest side that has a habit of beating us even when they're terrible, and
Mm.
also yes, we've got West Ham, but they're in form, so like no one know that. It's not exactly an easy game for anything at the moment, but
I think United will beat West Ham tomorrow night.
yeah, I mean,
But yeah,
I don't.
it's great. It's great. I still think Carrick. I mean, I'm obviously delighted for Carrick, King Carrick. And
Oh, here we
they're
go.
looking
Carrick at the
great.
wheel,
On
is
the
it?
back.
No,
Carrick
no,
at the wheel.
but I'm still I'm being consistent. I still don't think he should be anywhere near that permanent job in the summer. Come the summer, rather.
What can I ask? Why?
So I mean I've said it before. I think there is such an opportunity for United to go out and get a real top class manager, and not just a top class manager, but a top class manager who would fit the ethos of the club. So obviously Amarim was the wrong pick. It feels like United had such an opportunity to get the right man for the job, and I still feel like that with Carrick again, United look great, performing well, getting big wins against big sides, but I still think there
You
is
don't
a
want
little bit of Ollie-ishness
Yeah,
to
you
it.
don't want to make the same mistake twice, right? Because
Don't want to make the
said,
same mistake twice, because again, the trouble was with that Ollie, with the Ollie stuff was that he obviously I think it was 8 wins in a row. I think the board listened to the fans a little bit too much and they gave in. They gave him a full-time contract, and then within a couple of years he was gone. So
you don't want
with
to make
nothing much to speak
decisions.
for it.
Yeah,
But I think United, to be honest, I think United have someone in mind, and I think they've already reached it. Glasner, I think, is possibly one, given how swiftly things kind of broke down with Palace, and him announcing that he's going to be gone at the end of the season could have been a little bit of United tapping him up, perhaps. I think my ideal would be Mauricio Pochettino, myself personally. There's just so many options out there, particularly post World Cup, where there'll be
I
more
mean,
managers available.
would you be against the idea if you got a new manager in? Would you keep him on the coaching staff? Maybe put the assistant or
Oh
something.
yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, again, I don't know I think Carrick was he was on the coaching staff before, and again, it's difficult to say how much the contribution comes from that side of things. I mean, typically the manager, head coach is the main man, and that's kind of who you look towards if when you get a win or a loss, kind of thing. I don't think the coaching staff typically getting a lot of praise, but yeah, I'm happy for him to stay there. I mean, I don't mind that whatsoever. I don't really care, to be quite honest. I just think United should be a little bit more competent this time around when it comes to choosing the new manager.
Like most managers, just see what happens. See what the manager
get to the end of the season, get top four. But again, I think United are already starting. I think Radcliffe and Wilcock, whoever, have already reached out to a couple of people or have a couple of people in mind. But as long as United are winning on the pitch in the meantime, it almost takes the pressure off the owners, because no one's really talking about them at the moment. They're not really getting a lot of column inches, written about them, so they can kind of go about their business without the pressure of losing on the pitch as well, and so.
Well, to be fair, at the moment we're getting them column inches. We're the joke, so
Good. Yeah, happy.
Welcome.
Brilliant.
You're welcome
brilliant.
for that.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Yeah, love it.
I get your argument about Carrick. I do understand that previous experience has shown us that it doesn't work just going with an interim manager when they're on this frame of form. However, look at where Man United are as an actual club. They have been nowhere. They're nowhere near the nonchalance of Premier League great right now. They're not near it. However, you look at Arsenal, for example. Yeah. Wenger left, they brought in Unai Emery, who was a very good manager, lost the Europa League final with him and was then sacked not too long after that. And then Arteta came in. Would you have said at the time Arteta is a manager suitable for the
Absolutely
Arsenal job?
not.
No.
Absolutely not. No. He did win the FA Cup in his first season, so I mean, he won a bit of silverware.
Yeah.
But no, absolutely. I don't think a lot of people would have said that he'd be a long-term manager and be in with a title challenge.
I think the system was there, though. I mean, yes, there's still a lot of stuff he had to do at Arsenal to really change it. But
you had to build a side, So.
I mean, but I think the structure at Arsenal is probably at that point we're still in a much probably better position than where Man United are now structurally, because obviously it depends on what you want. Do you want a manager or head coach? If you want a head coach where somebody else at the top does all the big
United need a manager. United need a manager, and I think it's almost like it would almost annoy me when United sacked Amarim, they must have had a plan in place, right? They wouldn't have thought immediately, right, let's bring in Michael Carrick, and if he does a good job, we'll hire him at the end of the season. That can't have been what their plan was. Their plan must have been, we have a man or two or three men in mind that we want to make manager. And if they make Carrick manager, it's almost like they've just changed their plan. They've just changed their mind, and it shows a lack of.
But then you cannot see the argument of he's bringing the best out of the players that are there. You spent all this money.
Of course he is. Of course he is. There's no argument about that. There's no argument about that.
But the question was this at the moment. Yes, he's obviously 4 wins out of 4. Playing well, playing good stuff. He's doing well. But again, is it a situation of, is he getting the best out of play because he's the temporary manager, or is it manager bounce?
He's playing Fernandes in his preferred position. He's playing Mainu full stop. He's rearranged the team a little bit, and wouldn't you know it, they're playing better. That's just what things that Amarim didn't do. It's not like this tactical revelation. Carrick comes in and blah blah blah.
I've just seen it before. I think there's so much work at the top that needs to be done before, but again, it's like taking it obviously from a totally neutral standpoint. It's like I just don't. I think a lot of fans just don't make the same mistake. Just cautious. If he does what he does and he gets top 4 and he does that, and obviously look at the manager outscape and you go, it's not a lot of managers that we can go for right now. Give him a shot for another season and then see what happens. Because obviously, worst comes to worst. If it doesn't work, you kind of back to square one. But at least you said you gave a chance. But if it's a better, I said I agree. Like, there's a better manager out there, like a manager that's more 100%. Proven.
There is
more experience, more
yeah.
He's
doing down that route before.
I just don't think
No, that's quite right. But I think they have so much time now to kind of really vet managers and stuff. But Carrick is doing exactly what the owners will have hoped, or the minority owners will have hoped for. He's doing everything, and like I said, I think it's a big thing that he's taking the pressure off Radcliffe and his mates, while United are winning again 4 in the bounce. I mean, I don't think a lot of people would have saw that when he came in, but it's great. But I still think that let's temper our emotions when it comes to give him the job. Like no.
I mean,
let's
hold your horses. Hold your
horse. Exactly.
Again, with Man United, it's always the same thing. As we know, it's going to happen when you go 5, 6, 7, but if you lose a game again, all of a sudden we're back to square one again. That's how
I don't know.
Landscape.
It might depend how we lose. If we lose, say tomorrow night against West Ham, if it's a really bad performance. But I think Carrick has such a huge amount of good grace in the bank already. I think even winning 1 or 2 on the bounce, it's not the worst. I mean, obviously the top 4 race is quite tight at the moment. Again, that 5th place could become a Champions League spot. We don't know yet. But I mean, obviously it's important to kind of keep that momentum up.
To be fair, it's more likely this season. It's more likely because obviously, how many people we've got in the Champions League knockout stages that are English and
we've got a clear run. That's one thing as well. We've got no FA Cup, League Cup, no Champions League. We've got just purely Premier League matches from here to the end, which is another plus.
Yeah. So, one last thing I did want to speak about though was it Newcastle? Obviously it was a thrilling game at St James's Park, and Brentford did come out on top, and we did mention how good Brentford have been this season. I mean, I had to think the other day that I have got my relegation teams completely wrong this season if Leeds don't go down. Like I said, Sunderland to go down, they're in the top half.
I think we all did, yeah.
I said Brentford to go down, they're in the top half, and Leeds, well, they're associated, but they're not going to go down.
They should be all right.
I'm the guy. To be fair, I'm the guy that came out and said that out of all 3 of the promoted sides, it'd be Burnley that had a better chance of staying up. So what do I know? So what do we know?
Bad shout.
But with Newcastle, I think that the alarm bells are certainly ringing at the minute.
1 win in 8, isn't it? 1 win in 8.
Yeah,
games.
it's really not looking good. I mean, I think that I was looking at it, and like Dango Otara, I think the guy's name is. He played in the AFCON for I can't remember, Bukai Faso or something like that, and he came back from the African Cup of Nations duty, and he was absolutely brilliant for Brentford. But I looked at the Newcastle side, and I'm like, you've got quality there, but how are you not playing well?
I mean, is it Bruno?
What is happening?
Was it Bruno Was it their star player?
Guimaraes, yeah.
Like obviously he came back in this game, but I think I did see a stat that it's pure. It can't be a coincidence that he's been out for a little while, and Newcastle aren't as good as they are with him. I mean, I think it's good that at least you think there's a situation
they're so much better with him in the side.
It's the same problem last
Yeah.
time they had the Champions League. I think what Champions League football is just, if it was just because obviously we've seen it before where the season they had the Champions League, they was it dropped off big time and they didn't get anywhere near. So obviously because they have good moments in the Champions League. Obviously with that PSG draw and stuff, but I just think I think it's got depth. I just don't think they have the really like the injuries and maybe hit them a bit more harder this season. Maybe
They are missing what's his name? They're missing Isak. They're so missing Isak.
Oh, Corey, they were always going
ridiculous.
to. I mean, yeah.
It's now starting to show because no goals for Wolfer made since the 20th of December against Chelsea.
God, yeah,
Like,
he had such a strong
absolutely
start to the season.
I mean,
Didn't he? Yeah.
to be fair, a lot of those guys were headers, so what a shocker
Yeah,
that kind of in
but,
the end it kind of dried up. But
they're 11 points off the Champions League places. And another thing, they've also conceded 11 goals in the final 10 minutes of games this season, which is the most this season. And that is their first defeat to Brentford at St James's Park since 1934. So these little teams are starting to go there and really bully Newcastle at the minute. And is Eddie Howe the right manager to get him out of this mess? You've definitely got to give him a shout because he just what he's done for the club.
I think if you go from a
not
situation
looking
to turn it around, yeah, I think it is. But again, it's that situation of like where Newcastle as a club and probably as the ownership want to be. It's a situation right now. It's like you go in. We kind of thought like that's for them. If I was them, it's unacceptable, isn't it? It's like for a team that wants the European or at least Champions League, it's
dreadful.
Was it 11 points off? 11 points. And also, but to be fair to to Eddie Howe, it's like it's not like they've backed him as well as they probably should have when they got Champions League football last season. Like they tried. I give them that, but like they should have. It's like there's some of the
particularly with Isak going, and all the money they got from that, they should have maybe. Is Wissa injured or did he play?
No, he played in that game. I think, yeah.
I get what you're saying.
But
about,
he was out.
He was out as well for a while. Yeah.
I get what you're saying about they should have backed Howe. They did when you think about it, because I think was it 140 odd million they got for Isak.
125, I think it was, wasn't it?
Yeah, and they bought in a 63 million pounds Wolfer made.
Was he 63 million?
Yeah,
I mean, I suppose he did start well, but Mike,
he's been out for a little
bit, I think,
heavy as well. So
market is so bloated now.
Then they paid something like 50 million for Wissa, and then they paid quite a bit of money for Anthony Elanga.
Well, yeah.
The backing's there. The backing is there. So. The problem is those signings haven't showed up. Like Carl mentioned it earlier in the season when we done our best signings of the season video. He said the signings aren't the players standing out; it's the players that are already there that are standing out.
Yeah,
and it's so true.
Yeah. So have they improved? So is it quality issues then? Like they haven't when you've got what's that situation when you want to be that kind of top team, you want to take a good player, but then you want to upgrade if you could upgrade to a better player. But the problem is they haven't really replaced that. The quality is the Isak thing probably does more relevant now because obviously they haven't really replaced.
Kind of have to almost give them a pass on that because Isak was one of the best strikers in Europe last season. You're not going to easily replace him.
But I have to admit, I haven't seen a goal. But obviously, goals have been a problem in for a while. Like I think they were because obviously again you can see it. I mean, obviously when they have to put Gordon, I think I've seen games when they put Gordon up front. There's obviously not a striker, stuff like that. And I mean, he's done pretty good in that position, but. Yeah, I don't know. I think for me, it's just Newcastle. Just either it's something to do with they can't. I think the European stuff's a big factor for it. I mean, obviously now because obviously you said no wins. Was it one win in?
1 win at 8, I think.
But obviously a lot of European games. But obviously might change with now we don't have anything. But then I just think it just feels like this is 2 seasons ago when they were in the Champions League last time. It just feels like the same kind of problems in a way because it didn't really they kind of finished quite poorly that season as well, so I think that might be one of the reasons, obviously not the main reason, but again it's with Newcastle, like you could say get rid of Eddie Howe, but again it's the same question you always ask for any manager, who would you bring in?
I think if I was Newcastle and it comes to the end of the season, they finished in the bottom half, they've obviously made the semi-finals of the League Cup, I think they're still in the FA Cup, and they get to say they make it to the knockout stages of the Champions League, they win the playoffs and get to the knockout stages, and that's they get to last 16 and that's it. I think that Newcastle need to sit down with Eddie Howe and then go like, can you take us any further? Have you done the maximum you're able to do, which is phenomenal still.
Yeah, I mean,
which is absolutely immense. Because even though they've got these rich owners, they are still on the budget because of PSR
Yeah, of course,
rules,
yeah.
and they've produced a League Cup and 2 Champions League appearances. Like, that is some feat with some of the restraints they've
all
had.
Things considered, yeah.
And these players they've sold as well, the money they've made for the club as well. He's been brilliant. He's been absolutely brilliant. But I think they now need that manager that's going to take him to the next step. I don't know who that is, but they need that manager to come in.
You always had that feeling, though, didn't you? Like, I mean, obviously nothing against obviously what he's done is spectacular. It's not downplay Eddie Howe's like kind of achievements at Newcastle, but if you know from history of other clubs where they've tried when they had all the money, it was always they have one manager that takes them to a certain point, and then they always get that world class manager that catapults them to where they want to be. But
Eddie Howe was like the upgrade from Steve Bruce, wasn't it?
I mean, to be fair to any Newcastle, no, anything.
I know, yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. But I think the one thing that's always hovering above Eddie Howe is I think he is the one person who's like he's the one person that the English FA have wanted as an England manager for a very, very long time now. I think that's the one thing that's kind of that the one cloud that hovers over Newcastle fans is that I think it's he has to surely. I think he's being called for that job.
I mean, could you sit there and could you see a situation of obviously with whatever happens with the work? Yeah, well, like that. Yeah, I mean,
this is my point. If England crash out with the World Cup in the group stages in the summer, and then Tuchel's off, that was all he was brought in to do. It could be that Eddie Howe, it's your time to shine, buddy. You know, it's
the only tactical manager we've got. Like the manager that actually feels like it's got some actual philosophy in a way and kind of tactical nous, to be honest. Because obviously,
I think that with I had a quick look at this. English managers in the Premier League, he has the best win percentage of any in the Premier League, 37%, which is very good.
I can't imagine there's many England managers with a very high win percentage ratio.
I mean, if you take out Liam Bosnier and Michael Carrick, then there's
Mark Hughes. Is Mark Hughes high on that list? Tony Pulis, is he English?
So in terms of all time, like England managers, the one that tops it is Harry Redknapp.
Redknapp, oh right, yeah.
Redknapp tops it. Then you got Bobby Robson, then Roy Hodgson, Kevin Keegan. On that list as well is
Mark Hughes as well. So I just realised that.
Alan Kirbishley was on that list as well.
He was good for a time, for that Charlton side. I mean, he kept them in existing for a while. So
this is it. But no, I think that either one of two things need to happen in the summer if Newcastle were to have the season I was just saying there. Either they part ways and they look for that big manager to come in to Newcastle, or they say, right, we're going to give you one more season, but we're going to back you to Kingdom Come. We are going to push everything onto you this season that you have to achieve something big.
It all depends on how they finish this. No, I think that's right. And I think it depends how they end the season, obviously, and how they get on in their various competitions, which they are still in. All credit to them. The Champions League being the big one, obviously. So I think it depends on how they if they crash out of all the tournaments and it's just the Premier League come the end of whatever, April or something. And they kind of end the Premier League season with a whimper, then you could say, well, I don't think there's much chance of him taking this team any further. But let's wait and see.
I got a feeling they seem like a club that would take a risk on like an up and coming manager as well, like a
young manager,
with fresh ideas.
Gary O'Neill.
Someone like a Nagelsmann or something, No,
I mean he's doing well in France, isn't he? Is it?
Yeah.
Was it?
I'm not saying there's any chance he would go there, but something of that ilk.
I'm not saying it was Gary. Was it Gary O'Neill? He's the manager of Strasbourg, I think, wasn't it?
No idea.
Is he?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I remember seeing it. I remember seeing that. It's like
no, I don't know. Is he? Hang on, I'm a Chelsea fan. I should know that. I mean, that's our sister club.
It's your academy system.
Oh, I never. Yeah, he is.
Is he actually? Oh, I didn't know.
Oh God, he's going to be our next manager.
Yeah. Incoming. Rosenior, get ready, mate.
He's setting up for
Here
the
we
Chelsea
go.
job, isn't he?
Gary O'Neill managing Cole Palmer. Oh God. Here we go. But we'll move on now. Oh God, I wish I didn't see that.
Better than nothing. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to finish the podcast on this one tonight. Did you know that on the weekend a game was postponed because of a squirrel?
I did not.
That's
know.
nuts.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, you got there first. No, you got there first.
Oh, was that the thing? Oh no, I'm too quick with the puns now. That's a weird kind of skill of mine. You can't beat me there, mate.
We know you, David, are really on the ball with stuff like that. So we just,
yeah,
you
no,
should've
I'm a
known better, man.
weirdo. But no, no, come on, man. Can you think of
well,
any other squirrel puns? I don't know.
Hats off to you, David. Hats off to you.
Cheers, mate.
But is it one of those things that's so ridiculous you can believe it?
It would have been true, though. It is actually true. That
Is it actually? I thought you were
I
going to end on just a silly joke.
No,
that's actually.
No, that did actually happen.
Oh, right.
Yeah, but
Very
anyway,
good.
but obviously, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. We're all on Spotify as well. Like, obviously, please leave any comments of any videos you want us to give a go as well. We're more than happy to. But stay safe, everyone, and take care. See you soon.
Take care. Bye bye.
See you later.